This video is not about how to be coachable. I don't decide whether a leader is coachable based off, how much they nod or how agreeable in the moment they may sound. But I know it is in a moment most people miss. I'll tell you what most people think coachable looks like. Most people think that coachable leaders ask good questions or say things like, I'm open to feedback. That tells me nothing. Smart people can perform with curiosity. Successful people know the language, and agreement is cheap. Being coachable isn't a personality trait. It's a behavior that's under pressure. The moment I know a leader is coachable is when their first instinct isn't to explain. They don't rush to justify. They don't need to defend the context. They don't protect the story. I've seen silence before response, curiosity instead of correction, and of course the willingness to sit in the discomfort. They let the idea touch them before they decide what to do with it. The fastest way I know that someone isn't coachable is how quickly they explain why something won't work. Explanations, they're gonna feel responsible, they often sound intelligent, and they protect identity, not the outcomes. But the most restraint isn't the intellectual, it's the emotional. So I want to share a quick story about two different clients, one very coachable, and there's another one who is very much good at where he's at, but I want to share the story in between. The first story, I want to talk about a gentleman, we'll call him John. John is extremely open to feedback. John loves the brand, loves the content, loves the community, there's room for improvement, and of course there's an opportunity for us to at least shape mindset, share a story, maybe even give a book recommendation, share some wins that I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs around the world, and they're very open for feedback. But John also knows that John doesn't need us. John knows in the next 3 to 5 years, he'll take his $18 million company, he's going to bring it, probably at least double it in the next, 3 to 5 years without the help of us. It's the books, it's the videos, it's the guidance, it's the 10-year development in the industry, it's the right leaders he attracts, and it's of course everything that compounds over time. But there's one thing that John finds most attractive. John says if there's anything that I can do, if there's any opportunity out there, I, amongst everybody else, we're running against time. But he comes to us, why? Because he wants to condense that time frame. 3 to 5 years, John knows he's going to figure it out. But he wants the opportunity to figure it out between 1 year to 2 years, 1 year to 3 years. He wants to condense that time frame because how many landmines could he run over? How many decisions is he making confidently at night? Who is he processing with? Is it his last appointment at night where he doesn't know? She probably doesn't want to hear it. He probably doesn't want to talk about it. His friend group is no longer in his ear. He's not in his friend group's ear. Why? Because he's building a business. He's building a legacy. And right now he has no one to talk to. That person is not, in decision fatigue. They're making the decisions. They just want the confidence to know, hey, this is the proper decision. How do I make sure I keep going at this speed? And how do I make sure that this plan right here is going to bring me the future life that I want most because it's in the business plan and it's everything that I told my family. I want that photo above the fireplace. He has no idea. Or of course, he might have the opportunity to sit back and say, you know what? I've made educated decisions. I've built this path before. I read the right books. I could see the journey, but I want to have some sense of confirmation and some sort of person in their ear that's going to handle the objective, that is going to be the person who's no longer the yes man and have the opportunity to pressure test this idea. That's a coachable person. That's someone who is willing to learn. That's someone who wants to be part of the experience. That's someone who's okay with the hard conversation. That's someone who's okay with whatever the business takes. That someone is most likely going to bed at night thinking about business just as much as John. That's someone who's really coachable. Let's talk to someone. His name is Bob. We'll call him Bob. Bob jumps on a call and says, Antonio, I have to tell you this. I have a very strong ego. No one can tell me what to do. I built an incredible business. In fact, I built a business where, I'm the top in my industry. I've done very well. I don't read any books. I don't need anything. I'm going to work hard. I'm at the office at 4:30 in the morning. I'm there until, 7 o'clock at night. I'm hustling. I've been doing this for 25 years. No one can tell me anything. Halfway through the call, I ended up giving him a book recommendation, and he says, Antonio, I'm not going to read the book. But this person is so against perspective, so against what he should try, what he could look at. He loves watching videos, loves watching content, but he's not going to read the books because what are the books going to teach me that real life can't? Why am I sharing this message? Bob may miss out on his miracle. Bob could miss out on the opportunity to, bounce ideas off of. Let's just say, best case scenario, he has it all figured out. Nothing's against him. The market's favored him. He's built the right relationships. No matter what he does, he's going to get a bid or he's going to get a deal because he makes a quick phone call. Let's say all goes as planned. Why not get perspective? Why not put trust into somebody to to allow them to deliver value or deliver ideas and perspective to get them to find that next level maybe a little bit faster. But their ego is the one that's holding them back. There's tension here because part of them wants to consider it, but the other part says, hey, if I got here, I don't need anybody else to help me get there. I'm going to figure it out myself. Let's say that's the case. But let's say there's a slow month, quarter, or an area where we could say, what if? There's always that what if mentality. What if we could do this? Or what if we make this decision? Or hey, if we're starting this section of the business, we need leaders to stand up. We need the right leaders in place to make sure, hey, I can cast the vision, but without the right leaders in place, the vision is only going to go as far as a leader can handle. So in that moment, who is more attractive in the marketplace? Is it someone who is a know-it-all, or is it an employer who says I'm open to coaching, open to feedback, open to opportunity? If you know your paycheck was on the line, if you know your team's paycheck was on the line, or if you knew that, your son's or daughter's college tuition or your livelihood or your career is dependent on a CEO or a leader of a business who is coachable versus someone who isn't, what would you feel more comfortable with, Bob or with John? Who's someone where you feel most comfortable in no matter what? Odds are it's someone who gets perspective and gets feedback because they're open to new opportunities. They're open to making sure we can improve any area of the business. When a fire comes up, perfect, I have someone to talk to. Versus, hey, you know what? I got it all set. I'm all set to go. But the crazy part is Bob's been in business over 25 years. He's been incredibly successful. So while I'm giving both sides of the story, both entrepreneurs are doing very well in the business. One difference is one individual wants feedback. The other one doesn't want feedback. They just want to know, hey, if you're a good person, I'll treat you right. And I'll make sure, if we have good conversations, we'll be intentional, love to build a relationship, love to build a friendship, but they're not coachable. You as the entrepreneur, you as the CEO, I'm sure at one point you didn't want to watch the content or you didn't want to read the books and you just wanted to work. What allowed you to switch the script, allowed you to sit down and say, you know what, there's more out there for me. There's more out there for my team. I want to build faster. I want to build stronger. And I want that confidence. I want that edge, and it's all mine. When did that shift for you? I'd love to know in the comments below.